my car was my hotel suite. I used to literally, I could tell you all the alleyways.
So you're flexible.
Literally, brother.
What?
All right, if I ring one of my boys now, one of my boys, Francis,
Yeah.
he used to always have to come with jump leads to jumpstart the car, because back then, you'd put on Jenny Francis.
Yeah.
So you put on Trace FM,
Yeah.
and you would have the radio on, and you'd turn the engine off, and the two of you would finish doing your thing,
Yeah.
and then you just chill in the car. But what happens is if you fall asleep
Yeah.
and your radio is playing, your battery dies.
Yeah.
So then your brethren had to come with the jump leads to start the car. So I knew every little cul-de-sac or alleyway where you could just park up, do your thing, and then if the battery dies, you ring your boy, yo, so he'll jump start you.
It's mad.
And then
Is that documented? Have you got like a little black book that?
no.
I was
But
wondering if I could.
No,
like a
that's-
USB that I could.
No. That's how we used to do it back in the day.
It's
Like-
mad how when you was young, you had to know every single
Well,
corner.
back then you're broke. You can't book hotels.
Yeah, no, I get you.
So I think the argument is where do you, at what age, I want to know in the comments, at what age was you allowed to have a girl or guy stay over? And also at what age did you move out, and was you forced to move out? So I think, and this is the problem now, is that if this 21-year-old decides to move out, he's going to be on the back foot the rest of his life.
Yeah.
That's his fault.
Because now he's going to start paying big boy rent.
Yeah.
And I don't know what he's earning.
Yeah.
And that's why this is the problem when it comes to trying to mature. And, don't go and say this to your mums, but a lot of your mums who have got council properties got them because of you. If they didn't have a child, they wouldn't be paying that cheap rent. And this is another story. One guy I'm talking to. Hear this. I don't think I've told you about this other story. So imagine this guy's paying £500 a month rent for the room, that he's staying in his mum's flat in Camberwell. He's only now discovered, that the total rent for that. Wait, let me land.
How many bedroom?
It's a 2-bed.
It's about 5 bills.
The flat that he's living in is 6 bills
Yeah.
a month. His mum has been charging him 5 bills a month rent for the room, and her argument is that if he was going to rent a room in this area, it would be more than £500. But he's like, I'm basically paying the whole rent here.
Yeah, no, facts. Facts.
What should you do in this scenario?
Be pissed.
Do you carry on paying the 5 bills, or do you
Because
move
what the
out?
fuck are you gonna do? Go somewhere else and pay it to some stranger? There's no
There
point.
you go. There's no point.
But at the same time, your mum's she's violated because you're not a tenant, you're a son.
And see, it's what it is, I was joking. I said, go and report it to the council. I was joking, but you know that technically you shouldn't be charging anyone. If you're on a council property, you shouldn't be taking rent from anyone. You might call it a contribution.
Yeah.
But if that child is in that house, but then again, he's 21, so I don't know how it works with the council, whether or not at 21 he's deemed an adult.
Yeah.
Because remember, I don't know what the council would say, but just remember, guys, that that property is there because your mum had you.
Yeah, that's crazy though.
So therefore, she shouldn't be charging you.
5
And this is the
bills.
problem, is that when your parents, I don't know the financial situation because he hasn't told me, but when does contributing become taking the piss? Like, how much was you paying when you was living in Brixton?
It's cheap, man. It's $250.
And how many bedrooms was it?
4. All of us were chipping in.
So 250. So let's say there's, and how many? So putting your aunt aside, how many working adults were in the house?
At the point I left, there was 4 of us.
So 4 working adults, apart from your aunt.
Jaheem was adult, technically not.
No, so there's 3 working adults.
3, yeah.
So that's that's basically 750.
Yeah.
Okay. And did you ever know what the actual rent for that property was?
It was about that, yeah.
Okay. I think that's the problem, is that when would you say the right time, or when would you say somebody should move out of their home, whether man or daughter? Would you say it's when they can afford to buy a property, or would you say when they're getting married?
I would say when you're getting married. I don't like the whole idea of splitting up like the family home for no reason, just because you want to do sexy times.
Is there an age that you would say is too old to be at home?
As a man.
Yeah. As a man.
I think when you want to start like going into adult life, innit? I think that's when you kind of should make the jump. But then
Or
I think
what age would you say?
if I had to put a number on it, when should you move out?
Okay, when it's too old. Let's say when it's too old.
Yeah.
When is it like, you need to get out now? And it's not you taking care of your mum.
Yeah.
Because you might be taking
Yeah,
care
it's
of your mum or dad.
different. Yeah, it's different.
Because sometimes I've had
Yeah.
friends who've said that, oh, my mum lives with me. And like,
I think 40 is too old. I think
40 is too old.
By then,
35?
yeah, you need to be looking. I think.
But why?
Because
why?
What if you and your mum live in a 4-bedroom yard,
Yeah.
or 5-bedroom yard, and it's just your mum by herself?
But then it's circumstantial. Like I'm trying to generalize because you're asking
Yeah.
for a number in it. So if
Yeah.
you're asking for a number, I think by certain ages, generally, I'd say people want to have kids.
Because you see,
they want
for me,
to.
my thing is like this, if you don't have to move out,
Don't move out. Yeah.
Especially now, the way bills are high.
Yeah.
Because if you're not with someone, if you're in a couple, move out. But if you're single and not with someone, the way things are right now, I don't see the point.
That's what I'm saying. So if you've got a serious relationship,
see the point
a
of moving out.
like a proper serious
So technically,
relationship, then it
you
makes
shouldn't be
sense.
moving out. What you're saying, you shouldn't be moving out until you're ready to settle down with somebody.
Yeah, I don't
Yeah.
think so.
Would you agree on that?
I don't see the need for it.
At whatever age that is.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't see the need for it.
I
Bro,
think
you have to see it like this, yeah. Back in the day, yeah. Remember, I grew up in Orange, so I remember at one point, yeah, one of my aunts used to live with us, so she moved in, and her and my mum split the bills. You get what I'm saying? So I remember like seeing like loads of families in the area where I lived where siblings might have like a big house. First floor is you and your kids, ground floor is me and mine, you know what I mean? So I remember seeing families sharing.
Yeah.
So there was never a thing of, you know what I mean? It never felt like there was an age where, you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because sometimes you would see like my landlord, for instance, she was like a older lady, but her son's kids and that they all lived, you get what I'm saying? Because there was different apartments, but they all lived in the same kind of complex. So
Yeah.
growing up around that, I kind of saw things different. Like you didn't have to leave until you were proper
Set up, yeah.
set up, you know?
I think that's the best way to do it, bro. Because I think like back in the day, families used to stay together
Together.
and proper help each other. And
Yeah.
even when they moved, they was local, so they
you
could
go.
all still operate as a unit. But I think
you
now
go.
everyone's so hyper independence. They want to move out and move far to the point where
the other day I was working Uber and I met one girl who was talking in the car and she was like, something like she just left her mum's house. Then I looked at the job and I was like, right, so where you going? She's like, oh, home. So looking at the job, home had to be less than a mile away because it was like £4 something, but that's because she was carrying, you know what I mean, carrying stuff. And she's like, oh yeah, then my sister lives around the corner and my other sister. I was like, right, that's brilliant because you lot are all less than a mile away from each other. Like you could all, you know what I mean? If something went wrong, this one could come round. If someone needed a babysitter, this one.
that's what you need.
Yeah,
bro. You need
that's
a
what
community.
But at what point do you live your own life? So for instance, my mum, so if I look at my grandparents, so my mum literally is flying to Nigeria. She's in Nigeria now. She flew out on Monday. Today's Tuesday. Now, my mum left Nigeria to come to London in 1984. My aunt, who's my mum's younger sister, left Nigeria, I think about 15 years ago to live in America. So the only daughter that was left was my mum's younger sister. Now, going to my family now, my older sister, Angela, she's moved to Belfast. My other sister has moved to San Francisco. Now, all my siblings are married. Now, if I'm the eldest son, if I decide to move to another country, is that wrong of me?
No.
So who looks after mum? Because this is the thing, at what point, is it wrong for, because my mum moved to London and left her mum. But would it be insensitive of me, being the eldest son, to disappear from London?
I think so.
At what point do we put our parents before our career and before anything else?
You know what's crazy? That's why they want to leave home at first. Because remember my aunt, when she was alive, before she had bowel cancer. And I remember my mum, before my mum passed, she used to always say to me, you need your space, you need your space. For years she was on me, move out, move out, move out, move out. Probably for like, maybe from when I was like 25, she was telling me to move out. And I was like, no. And she's like, why? And I was like, my aunt, yeah, she always needed help.
Yeah.
And I always felt like I needed to be around, if you get what I mean. Because I used to break it down to my mum, yeah, if it wasn't for my aunt, I won't be here.
Okay.
You get what I'm saying? So I felt like anything she needed, I just needed to. She was like my mum as well, if you get what I mean. So fast forward, when I did move out, she'd already beat the bowel cancer and all of that, so she became more independent again. Then obviously, like in the past, let's say like last year to the year before, right before she died, you could see like she started to deteriorate again. And I kind of felt bad because sometimes she'll phone me and she's like, oh, Chiza, where are you? I'm like, oh, I'm at work. Where? I'm like, maybe by Gatwick or something. She's like, oh, I needed this. On my phone, Jaheim, like, are you around? Oh, he's not around. So I kind of felt bad because before, she knew she could always rely on me.